Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, it's Monday morning. We're going to go through a load of the different events that are lined up right now. Actually, there's a ton. A lot of them are summoning based. Yes, Raid, they love a summon right now. I've got to say, like, if I was a new player coming in over the last 6 months with no experience of Raid at all, I think I'd be pretty much bamboozled here because we've got Prism shards, we've got Primal shards, we've got ×2, we've got ×10, we've got summon rushes going on through the week. I'd literally be like, I'm overwhelmed by all the different events that are running that don't seem to have any kind of like focus. But I guess maybe that's also exciting for new players. If you are a newer player watching this video, firstly, why are you not subscribed to my channel? Hit the subscribe. But secondly, let me know what you think. Like, is this something that you enjoy? Is it like a bit of a boost to wake up and find all these different events? Or are you a bit kind of like, damn, this is a lot? Anyway, let's talk about this then. Tolarian Summer Pool. We've got a new shard event from today. So it's going from today until Friday, so all of this week. During this event, you can summon from a unique pool of champions with these Prism crystals. So pretty much last time around, Prism crystals was sucking because you couldn't earn enough to do a summon. This was whilst I was away. But obviously you could buy shards, and that's pretty much where that went down. So that was not well received. But it does say here you can get Prism crystals from events and tournaments that will be active this week. So hopefully we can see some of those in a minute. Each summon this time, though, is 25 Prism crystals, whereas I think last time it was like 70. So I don't know if they're just like, these are always going to be different. Get your mindset away from this is good, this is bad. You choose when you're going to get involved. Or if they're just feeling the market and saying, well, at 70, we didn't really get many buyers. At 25, we got this many buyers. Where's our happy place? So I expect to see these moving around quite a bit over the next couple of months. But anyway, 25 Prism crystals for a summon feels decent if you can actually farm a few of these things in events this week. Do bear in mind, there's likely to be a fusion that starts next week, or even possibly at the end of this week, but we've not had any news yet, so I'm guessing it's next week. So, and that might be a good champion. It might be a bad champion. You might be ready for a fusion. You're probably not. So I guess you kind of take things depending on your account states. So let's have a look at this first, and let's see what is up for grabs in both champion chases and variety. They're throwing a whole bunch of packs at us. Let's see what's on the summoning pool this week. Okay, so Tolarian summons. You've got some massive champions in here. There's always going to be massive champions in these Prism events because you're pulling from different factions, and there's, you know, every faction now's got some heroic legendaries, you know, some really big boy ones. So I guess we're always going to see that. But just as a quick and dirty, you've got in here Stultus, you know, one of the best defensive damage dealers in the game, one of the best answers to Dragon Hard in the game, and generally a great champion. Like, he's got AoE stuns, which are brilliant. He's got 2 AoE nukes. Yeah, and he self-buffs his defense before he nukes on the A3, which makes him great in live arena. The reason why he's so good on Dragon is anytime someone's trying to weaken him, drop defense on him or poison, he throws it straight back at the attacker, which is super cool as a skill. So Stultus is big. Cupidus is big, especially if you've got Venus. Yeah, he's got this AoE HP burn, which is a nuke as an AoE as well. He's got big single target hits, and then he's got an absolute cannon of an AoE A1, which when Venus is around, he does 25% more damage, and he will always counterattack when hit. This is my main arena team, by the way. These two together, just protecting Cupidus with my other champions in bolster sets, the shield set, whatever it is. I think it's bolster. And yeah, it's pretty big. So Cupidus is big. Valk, counterattack with a massive shield. If you can't do clan boss, she's great for clan boss. Also pretty good in Finite. You've got Marta, also very good in Finite, good in clan boss. Another counterattack champion with an AoE decrease attack with a chance to provoke as well. She actually hits a lot harder than people give her credit for with this skill, and she's got drop defense. She used to be the #1 champion in the game when I first started doing content. I think she'd struggle to get in a top 20, probably even like top 30 list now. That's how much the game has moved on. Lissandra, very good as well, speed freak. And in terms of the epics here, any other I would call out. Mordecai's good, but most of us have probably got Artak right now, which is just an improvement on that. Tyrell's still good as well. Anchorite, decent. Phoenix is actually very good for a block revive A1. Very hard hitter. Yeah, so, I mean, decent epics in the mix as well. So, I guess, you know, if you were buying the packs, what you got here, 210 shards for $50. So, you're talking about, how many summons is that? 25 per summon. That's pretty good. You're talking like 9 or so summons for $50. Is that good? I don't know what I'm saying. Is that good? Maybe that's not good. With a 4% chance of a legendary. I mean, there's somewhere in between a kind of ancient and a sacred shard. I guess the pricing's about where it is. But anyway, if you could go out and find some of those fragments through events, obviously that's going to be a much nicer place to do it. Let's just see if there's any of these floating around. Nothing in here. Obviously, there's other summon events going on, so I'll talk about that in a second. Champion training event for Ukko's coming. I will talk about that within this video as well. Yeah, so I've got no visuals on where we're going to get these fragments from, these Prism fragments, but it feels like you've got to surely be able to get 25 over the course of a week to at least get yourself one summon for free this time. Surely, if it's 25. If not, then, I mean, Raid, what the hell's going on? So I think it must be possible. So, other summoning events that's going on. You can see the portal is purple right now. We've got 10 times events running for 3 different days in a row this week. I'm just going to cover it very quickly because I'm getting a bit bored of the 10 times. But Riho's up right now. I would love a Riho, but I'm not going. I'm kind of like cut back a bit of my shard spendage. Riho is very, very solid. She's just crazy. Honestly, she's crazy. So she's got some heals going on the A1 for your team. She's got pretty much all of the debuffs under the sun on the A2. Very good for Sand Devil if you're running like a team as it's meant to be run, if you're not just doing like a 2-man jobby. Also just generally good for most content with this, any sort of boss mode. She's got a full cleanse and block debuffs and a massive heal on her A3. And then she's also got this ability to just throw back debuffs back at attackers on this passive, which is just bonkers, you know, anti-hedgy, anti-Kaimar type of stuff. Really, really cool. So Riho's very good. She's on a 10 times today. Tomorrow, now I made a mistake in a video I did last week where I said, hold your mythicals for when they're doing the kind of like 2 times mythical when there's a 10 times on as well, because I feel like that's the best time to pull mythical shards or primal shards. Turns out I was wrong, and it's a bit weird in terms of the way they're doing it. So if there is a 2 times on primals, you will not get a 10 times on the champions that are in the pool. But if there's just a 10 times on like tomorrow, where they're going to have a 10 times on Ukko and Withir, then you will get the 10 times if there's not a 2 times running. Did you understand that? It's a little bit stupid, honestly, but it is what it is. That's what they're doing. We can't stop them doing these things. No thank you for the packs. So yeah, it is what it is. So tomorrow there's going to be a 10 times on Ukko, who is, what is she? Shadowkin? Yeah, Ukko, very cool champion, hits super hard. She's got this AoE decrease attack. If someone else is doing the decrease attack, it's an AoE HP burn. I did some videos around her soloing Bommel hard 90, which is pretty cool. She's also got a great ally protect. She's quite hard to speed tune, but if you can speed tune her, she becomes insane for clan boss as well with this ally protect with block damage alongside decrease attack and a weaken on her A1, which hits insanely hard if she's placing these extra hits. So yeah, Koku's very cool. She's also great in arena and like go second teams because of this ability here. Every time she's hit with a crit, she heals her team and puts increased defense across the team. So with things like ally protect, block damage, protecting your team in the arena, she actually becomes pretty damn cool for arena as well. And then the other one is Withir, who is in here. Withir is just like pretty much an uber healer. Once she gets going, she's got cleanses, she's got heals, she's got continuous heals, increased defense. Once she gets going, she makes your team incredibly hard to kill. So yeah, Withir's pretty cool as well. Depends if you want to pull shards during these type of events or not. Now the Wednesday one is a little bit more interesting generally because they're doing another void and it's going to be Yumiko. Now for those who are not in the current kind of like mix of what's going on, Yumiko's in double Yumiko, sorry, is in the world record clan boss team. She's in the world record Hydra team. When you get two of these little cats, the game becomes a different game, honestly. And we think there's going to be a nerf to this kind of like massive Hydra team. But they've said they don't want to nerf Corpulent Cadaver directly. However, in Hydra, you're seeing these crazy teams being run, like this one here from Cat Marak in my clan. Like, look at the damage. I guess that's what, 1.3, is that 1.3 billion? 130 million? I'm not sure what the number is, honestly. This is 300 million, so that's got to be 130 million, right? That 1.3 billion. Anyway, I don't know. It's an obscene number. You compare it then to a team of basically all void legendaries, and this is an obscene team here, and this team's done, less than a quarter of the damage with +4s in there and all that sort of stuff. Like, and this is the problem, is this team is so far above the rest that it's a bit silly. What did I hit so far? I've hit 145 mil with like my harder hitting team. And could I build, so I can't build this team, I don't have double Yumiko, but I could build a version of it which is doing like probably, I don't know, at least 500 million if I could be doing with the time. Tell us how much time this run took. Generally, they're taking people about an hour. I don't feel like I want to do that. But anyway, it feels a bit wrong to put the Yumikos in here if they're still considering the nerf of the Cadaver. But either way, like whether that stays a thing or not, Yumiko in live arena is obscene. Like, she's one of the best champions. General arena, very good. General content, really good because of this cooldown reduction A3. She's basically reducing the cooldown of your team skills whilst increasing the cooldown of enemy skills. So she's incredibly strong. She's also got a cool mechanic on her A2 where she places a hex and then the team basically won't be debuffed. Really good for Bommel. She's very good for Fire Knight as well. She's got Turn Meter still going on and Dark Fae. Like, loads of areas where she's incredibly strong. So Yumiko is going to be the one on Wednesday for Void Shards. So if you are getting involved in any of these events, you've got a Champion Chase tournament running right now, which is going to cover all of these. So Champion Chase means you get points for pulling any champion, like if you did a fusion or whatever. I mean, like past fusion that you pulled today, or past fragment champion that you pulled today. So, I mean, the rewards on the right-hand side here, you've got 3k to get a legendary tome. I think that's probably in line with where it normally is. Obviously, you can get yourself a soul stone up here. I don't know. Look, it just depends if you're going to be someone who's kind of like wailing on these shard events or not. Don't know. I guess if you're doing Prism shards, it still counts. It's no different because it's still just pulling a champion. So, you might, it depends if they do give us ways to get free shards, but you might get yourself some kind of like pulls from that. But yeah, all I would say is there's a fusion going to be coming next week. Like, depends what you want to do. But yeah, this feels like it's only if you're going all in and you're pulling a ton of shards for stuff. So I wouldn't get too excited about that. Right, let's check out this champion training tournament here. Win Mighty Ukko Souls. So Mighty Ukko was a previous fusion. So a lot of us have got the Mighty Ukko. That was definitely one of the champions where I said, if there's any fusion you're going to get, it should be this one back in the day. I mean, time's flown by because we're probably, I don't know, maybe we're 6 months on since then. And, okay, so here you go. Champion training tournament. You're not going to like it because it's 12,000 points. But over 4 days, these 30 Prism crystals are very achievable. It really is. Depends on whether you want to save, honestly, for fusion stuff. But this is very doable. And this legendary tome is also very doable for players. So already I'm thinking, I kind of like this event. What I don't like personally is champion training events, just because it's like very time consuming. But in terms of, is it very doable? Yeah, it is. It really is. I know some people are going to be commenting below. No, it's not. I can't, like, it really is. And I will show you, I'll link at the end my video, which is like, this is the way to get 4 times the points you normally get from champion training. I've linked it a ton of times. Also worth saying, upgrading ranks and using skill tomes is on the table here. So if you've got, books to be used, now's not a terrible time. If you, at least to get to this 10,000, I would say, like getting this legendary tome. And then I feel like if you're getting the tome, you may as well pick up these crystals and give yourself a shot at a shard pull, I think. But it's up to you guys anyway. But in terms of this kind of like top price, so it's not everyone getting an Ukko Soul. Depends who you're up against. And, for a 4-day champion training event, It totally depends who you're up against, honestly. Like, I could do, if I wanted to, if I was like hard focused to win this perfect soul, I could do 100k points without any issue whatsoever. Yeah, I could easily do that. Okay. However, depends how focused you are and how much you want to do it. So it literally comes down to who have you got in your group that really wants that mighty Ukko soul. If you've got anybody who's like an endgame arena player, certainly live arena or plat, then 4-star soul is pretty big. Yeah, I don't know what I've got on my Ukko right now. Let me have a look. But 4-star souls are pretty juicy to have. I'm sure that I've got much going on in mine. I've got a 2-star. So pretty much for me, like, it's either all in to try and win it or not. Because, you know, if I gain one more, that's not really it. At 4-star, you start to get some of the interesting additional bonuses, right? 2-star's not bad. 3-star, kind of in between and whatever. 4-star, you get a real boost. 5-star's good. 6-star, you get a real boost, yeah? So it's very, very attractive to endgame arena-style players, this type of event. So the last one then, I'm not going to kind of wait around to record on this because I've got no idea what it's going to be. But there's also, on top of everything else, going to be this Octoberfest Dungeon Divers. There was a time gone by where Octoberfest meant additional fusion. So Morley was like an additional fusion, I'm pretty sure, for Octoberfest. It says here, though, celebrate Octoberfest, get powerful artifacts, and win great rewards. Get up to 500 points each day. So you can only, it looks like you can cap out 500 points each day. It feels like it's going to be a bit of a cool event. Normally, if it's like limiting you per day, it's because it's got cool stuff in it and they want you to come back day after day. But I don't know yet, so I guess it's a watch this space. But do have it on your radar because this might end up being quite an relatively easy to achieve event with some cool stuff in it. There you go, guys. That's the roundup of today. Loads going on. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.